Hi, and for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Emma, and I am one of the founding directors of EWE Talk. Talking into a camera like this doesn't get any easier, I have to say, but it's a good way for us to tell you a bit about ourselves and share a bit about our life and our story and what makes us who we are and what has given us the drive and ambition to set up EWE Talk. I feel really proud of my story. It has made me who I am today. It has taught me so much, and it's not always been easy and it's not always been straightforward, but you know, the experiences that I've had in my life has made me who I am. It has given me the drive and the passion to be the best version of myself. It has taught me so much, and I feel really honoured and blessed to be in the position that I'm in right now, to be able to help others moving forward. So I am married to my husband Rob, and I have 3 children. My eldest is Sky, she is 13, and I've got 2 boys, Harry and Ozzy, and we live on our farm, and it is organised chaos all the time. And all 3 of our kids are on the spectrum to some degree, and have special educational needs. And this year I was diagnosed as well with having ADHD. I've always wanted to work with animals and using animals in a therapeutic sense. I have been training as a counsellor, and I started my first year prior to COVID, and had a break for 1.5 years when I had my youngest child. And I am now halfway through my 3rd year studying to be a pluralistic counsellor. Counselling is a job that I've always wanted to do. It's something that I have felt really passionate about doing for a very long time, but I never felt that the time was quite right. And going through this journey, I've learnt so much about myself, and I'm proud about talking to what's brought me to where I am today. I think a really big turning point for me in my life was 2011. That for me was my bad year. I separated from my eldest daughter's father, which is never straightforward, it's never easy. However, much needed. So that was definitely the right thing for me. Moving on, I then ended up losing my my grandmother, who was my last grandparent, and I was also very close with her. I was the eldest grandchild. And then in November of 2011, I lost my father at the age of 54. Circumstances were tragic. He was far too young, and in all seriousness, I don't think you ever move on properly from the death of a parent, and it is definitely something which I don't know whether I've really grieved for properly. You never get over it. It's just something that becomes easier as time goes on, but does it really get easier? I don't know, but that in itself is a whole different story. But in 2011, I met my now husband, who I just adore. We've been together now for, coming up to 11 years. However, when we first got together, he was in active addiction. And at the end of the year, beginning of 2012, he went off to treatment. Everything that I've experienced and everything that's gone on has just given me so much passion and so much drive to do what I can to help others and offer or try and help offer an alternative solution for mental health support. Just being with people and just being in a safe space can do so much for somebody, and I genuinely believe that what myself and Pippa are trying to achieve here with the animals really could revolutionise the way that we look at mental health. We've fallen into an area where there just isn't any kind of help or any support. And I believe that what we're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve could be so beneficial for so many people. Anyone who's had a loved one who's in addiction or struggled with addiction themselves knows how tricky that journey is, and it taught me so much. And if nothing else, it's taught me empathy, and it's taught me understanding, and it's taught me not to judge. As a result of a lot of things happening in a short period of time, I developed an eating disorder, something which, it's hard, and I think as well, because I'm tall, I'm 6'3", and my BMI was in the ideal weight, so to speak. I was never really taken seriously to begin with anyway. It took a while for me to get the help that I needed and for me to reach out and ask for help. I also was diagnosed with having anxiety and OCD, and again, anybody struggling with those types of conditions will understand that depression is as a byproduct of that, especially when it goes undiagnosed and untreated. I really struggled with that for about 3 years before I reached out and properly got the help that I needed. I had counselling, I had therapy, I reached out and used the talking therapy on the phone. I was medicated, still am to a minute amount, but the reason why I'm no longer taking any form of antidepressants is because I'm actually being medically treated for my ADHD. That in itself has been a complete game changer. Never did I realise that just jiggling around my medications would genuinely, completely change me as a person for the better. It's been a very long journey, and it's been, about 10 years, I think, realistically, from beginning to end, to get to where I am right now. I got interrupted by Robert walking into the room and kind of lost track of what I've said and where I'm going with all of this. So I think this is probably quite a good opportunity for me to wrap up and leave it where it is. I am going to leave you, and hopefully I will get the opportunity to catch up with lots of you over the coming years on our journey. And anyway, stop me waffling on. I never know how to end these things either. So I'm going to go, and I will see you all very soon, I hope. Anyway, lots of love to you all.